Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for joining me on my playthrough of Endwalker. So last time we returned to Sharlayan. We explained everything to the other Scions of what we learned in Elpis, including who it was who was really responsible for the final day. So we, in Estinian's words, we no longer have an unnamed, unknown calamity that we're up against. We actually have a physical entity that we have to beat. We beat Medion, we avert the final days, everything goes back to normal. So good for that, but it's not going to be easy getting to that point. But yeah, so let's go ahead and continue on. Alphino ended up making a deal with Sharlayan. They have a ship, an ark, I suppose we can call it. They have an ark that is technically ready to be launched today. Unfortunately, it's not moving as fast as they hoped it would. They have this little problem in trying to get the ship to the right speeds in order to get everyone on board as quickly as possible. And we offered that if we solve this problem for them, they'll let us borrow the ship, basically. And if it works, then we actually have a way to not only reach Medion, but we also have a way to be able to actually fight her and deal with her there. So hopefully it all works out. I have a feeling it will, but let's continue on. So here we are, we're back in Sharlayan. I changed Claire's outfit to reflect that, and I gave her a shorter haircut this time, just to see how it looks. I think she looks cute on her. But the next set of quest starts with going underground. Fortuno's ability to maintain a stiff upper lip is being sorely tested. As instructed, I shall take you to see the aetherburner. Meet me outside the Archelon. I trust you can make your own way there. He really does not like us. Like, I get this feeling he doesn't really like us. So the Ark is being built in Labyrinthos. Hardly surprising. Where else could they conceal such a massive undertaking? Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I just closed the blinds. The sun was doing that awful glare again. But yeah, I get the impression that Fortuno really, really dislikes the Warrior of Light. I still remember when they met in Gridania and he gave her just the nastiest look. I guess I'm getting the impression that he feels that we're responsible for the changes inside his children, like their sudden personality changes, and how they're suddenly so different than what he remembers. At least that's the impression I'm getting, but what can you do? Okay, I'm just taking the chocobo real quick. Probably save us some time. Could probably have just teleported there. I don't know why I just could not think of the word real quick. Oh well, let's see. Alright, it's not bad. Been a while since we've been back here. Gloomy weather outside today. I don't know why, the weather always seems to be really bad when I come here. So we're going to be exploring the rest of Labyrinthos. We've only explored like about half of it, if even that much. So, let's see. There they all are. Some would surely object to the form allowing foreign elements to have the run of their secret facilities. We should count ourselves lucky. Do they intend to carry everything in the Archelon to the moon? They said they started loading scientific records and biological samples, but do they really need all of it? Probably. I mean, it's going to be a lot of people. That we have been granted permission to enter the lower levels is proof of our increased standing. Would that they had been willing to confide in us sooner, might have saved us a lot of problems. Among the many and varied documents sent to the moon, I did chance upon several inventories made in the Archelon. Mayhap the foreign believe that such records would provide insight into the intricacies of circle duties. Regardless, the Loporites did not consider them worthy of more than a courtesy glance. Don't understand the appeal of reshaping it to look like the world above. Make your peace with what it is, or go outside if that's what you prefer. Oh, Estinian, I love you. Which is so true, too. Been many moons since I last visited Labyrinthos. Had vast as the archives were back then, they've only continued to grow in the days since. Where once we were refused entry, we are now welcomed as guests. That's it? Seems so long ago we first sat here. Yeah, it does seem like that, doesn't it? Okay, our destination lies in the lower levels. The Forum, in its wisdom, has granted you access to the Archelon's lift. Step inside and have Olefan take you to the medical circuit. Okay. I wonder what it is that we're going to be doing here. Because we're not engineers. I mean, we could probably call Sid. I'm sure that Sid could get the whole thing working. But I have a feeling it's going to be bigger than that. You wish to use the lift, yes? Yes, let's go. After all, this is Endwalker, so it's going to have to be big. Like, we're nearing the end, I have a feeling. We still haven't unlocked the second trial yet, either. I've sent your associates ahead to Logisticon Alpha on the other side of the Mural Agronomics. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to... No, never mind. It can wait. Let us attend to the matter at hand. Oh. I have a feeling he really wants to talk to us. Probably about the twins. Come on, man. I love sweet scenes. I love those kind of moments. But of course, not gonna happen. Let's see. Where to next? Oh, it's a long way down. You know, we could have talked on the way here. You know, nice little stroll. Two of us talking. I think that would have been a little nice addition to add, Square Enix. How much farther? Pretty far. We're going through the doors now. Well, they do open. I'm honestly surprised. Okay. Of course, everyone's waiting. Fields we passed along the way brought back memories of Ferndale. Unfortunately, we were never blessed with such abundant crops. The further underground we go, the more surprises we find. I wonder what this place is actually for. On our journey here was filled with the inexplicable sense of elation to see vegetables other than carrots being cultivated. Why, you brought a tear to mine eye. He was stuck eating carrots that whole time. We must be close to the central circuit, which is where Charlian's greatest secrets are held. The tomes I pursued told the whole story. On the Forum, even the people working down here are probably kept in the dark about the true purpose of this place. Well, that would suck. Oh, there you are. Having words with Master Fortuneau by any chance? Why? Do you know something? We are to wait here while our father arranges for us to use the next lift. Here being Logisticon Alpha, where the atmospheric conditions of Labyrinthos are regulated. Water is drawn from underground and disperses vapor, stimulating the formation of artificial clouds and rain. By manipulating the temperature and air circulation, they are able to create the ideal environment for the growth and preservation of the biological samples kept here. Interesting. Hold on, how do you know so much about it? Why, Father brought me here as a child. What? And left me behind? Actually, you're the one who left me behind when you went off somewhere with Grandfather. The night before, I'd been asking Father how clouds are made, so he decided to show me. It was fascinating. I peppered him with questions the entire time. It was all too easy to take for granted the many interweaving aspects of the natural world, to grow inured to the wondrous. But having gained an understanding of the complex mechanisms employed by the Lockerites in recreating a similar environment, I have come to view such processes in a new light. The subterranean gardens of Labyrinthos, the lunar prison forged to contain the ancient Zodiac, the habitations built for all mankind beneath the moon's surface, each unique yet undeniably similar. It is no mere coincidence. Ever since Heidelin unfolded to us the grim fate that awaits Aetheris, every essential resource we could spare has been delivered to Labyrinthos in preparation for the great exodus. But that is not all. It is also a testing ground for the technologies that will allow us to settle on distant stars. Though the Lockerites have endeavored to make the moon inhabitable, that is not our final destination. Mankind must learn to propagate life where there is none, to thrive where all is barren. Alas, time is not on our side. I have arranged for you all to enter the central circuit. It is there that most of our preparations for the great exodus are carried out, the construction of the Ark among them. Though our plans have been made public, access remains highly restricted. You, however, will not be subject to said restrictions and will have free rein to come and go as you please. Such was the will of the Forum, after all. We will prove ourselves worthy of their trust. Your trust. Let us proceed. I don't think I've seen this guy smile once. Not once! Not since that brief little friendly introduction in Gridania, and even then that did not last long. Like, he is so grumpy all the time. Okay. Speak with Hester. By decree of the Forum, the Signs of the Seventh Dawn are permitted to enter the Central Circuit. Aren't you formal? I know you're all probably getting sick of me talking to everybody. I'm getting a little tired as well. But hey, I can't help it. It's in my nature. This is it. The Central Circuit. Really? That's it? Well, we still have two Aetherites. So Apora and the Sharlayan Hamlet. Okay. We might finally have the chance to commune directly with Heidelin, provided we somehow manage to see where Sharlayan's finest engineers have failed. Still, it won't hurt to have a look. Yeah, when you put it like that. The farther down we travel, the more expansive the sky above becomes, artificial though it is. Would that the heavens elsewhere could be so idyllic. I guess. I don't know. Please tell me we're almost there. Or is there another underground level we have to reach? The even more central circuit, perhaps. Knowing this place, probably. Imagine the secrets kept here would be of great benefit to mine own research, but I will refrain from indulging my curiosity for the time being. Yeah, wait till after we save the world. Temperate environment here is not unlike that of Bestway Burrow, though the diverse vegetation doth produce a far more complex bouquet of aromas. A welcome difference indeed. For I have grown weary of the scent of carrots. You have just been through so much trauma with carrots. You probably never want to see one again. The sooner we can look at this ether burner of theirs, the sooner we can start working out how to improve it. But have no idea what makes Alfredo so confident we can solve this problem of theirs. Relentless optimism, I presume, a not unwelcome trait in the youth, but less so in a gambler. Aye, let us resolve never to let him set foot in the gold saucer. I'll be sure to remember that. The aetherburner is being constructed not far from here. Overseeing the work is Kokol Denkol, after whom the forge was named. Once the necessary introductions have been made, I shall leave you with him to discuss the particulars. This way. Okay, let's go and see him. I'm assuming from the name he's a Lalafell. So, that's all I know for sure. I mean, I'm not too impressed about this part already. We just jump? No, we can't just jump, can we? Darn it. Why not? No, we can go down, so let's go down this way. This music is going to drive me crazy. I mean, it's adorable, but it's somewhat annoying. Okay, so we're in the little hamlet now. It's cute, I'll give him that. Is he talking to himself? Nothing wrong with that. Surely the Forum hath already petitioned the aid of the Lockerettes, given their familiarities with such technologies. Oh yeah, I didn't think of that. But many of the faculties within the central circuit seem to be visible from the upper levels. The more secretive work must be carried out behind closed doors. I was expecting the Skysteel manufacturing, but instead I find the village smithy. He's not impressed. Perhaps you'd like to break the ice? Okay. For a closely guarded secret, you can see practically everything from outside, even within the magical barrier around it. Barrier? He looks lost in thought, although it seems he's hit something of a stumbling block. He hasn't even noticed we're here. Or perhaps he has realized, but just doesn't care. It wouldn't surprise me either way. It's the man we seek. Do try not to startle him. I have a feeling like he's an interesting character. Okay, let's go.
I could swap them out. No, been there, done that. Damn near lost my eyebrows.
Think, Coco, think! We'd be well on our way to paradise. Visionaries patting themselves on the backs for their grand accomplishments if you'd only think!
Yes, that does sound rather lovely.
Yeah! I mean, masterful, you know, what a pleasant surprise. We're not blasting off already, are we?
The schedule remains unchanged, for better or worse. Which is why the Forum has elected to accept assistance in resolving the aetherburner conundrum.
Huh. Not seen you lot down here before.
There are Archons among their number, but engineering is not their expertise. Nevertheless, the Forum concedes the slim possibility that they may have insights to offer. If not, you are at liberty to return them to the surface, by whatever means you see fit.
You're so negative.
I assure you that won't be necessary. Now, about your troubles with the aetherburner.
Aye, aye, I'll walk you through it. Suppose I could do with a change of pace. As the name ought to tell you, the ether burner burns ether, ambient or otherwise, and transforms it into motive force. Think of it like a giant bomb that never stops exploding. Even out in that black void where the ether's right sparse, it's strong enough to move our arc. And it probably won't kill you like an actual bomb.
Probably. That's reassuring.
But it ain't perfect. According to my calculations, to travel to the moon and back fast enough for the Forum's liking, the conversion rate needs to be 6% more efficient. A measly 6%, you say? But if I could have squeezed even another 0.6 out of it, don't you think I'd have built it that way in the first place?
Hast thou consulted with the Loperids?
Yes, they too are conducting their own research, for lack of a ready answer. The moon's propulsion systems are considerable, naturally, yet they are commensurately massive. It is no easy feat to convert their technology into an efficient means of propulsion for a teeny tiny toy boat, as they say, and as I most certainly do not.
Yes, exactly! Damn it all, I asked for refined adamantite and they send me uppity rabbits with inscrutable, ancient, incompatible technology! You're trying to drive me mad!
Do you speak of Allegan refined adamantite, perchance?
You know of it?
Only in the most general terms, I'm afraid. 'Twas an alloy of Allegan make, but the secrets of its production were closely guarded. As I recall, the record stated it was vital to Dalamud's construction and launch.
Aye, that's the stuff. No material more conductive far as I know. Slotting some ins like blowing up a dam and watching the river of ether come rushing through. Ain't a living soul that knows how to make it though. We were fortunate enough to salvage some for the aetherburner, just a wee bit, mind, from a chunk of Dalamud that came hurtling into the Northern Empty during the calamity. With more, well, that extra 6% efficiency would be child's play. It's a crying shame that we've no other sources.
Surely the many shards of Dalamud scattered throughout Eorzea would suffice. Why not get the refined adamantite from them?
Oh, we tried, believe you me. But only a few specialised pieces would have had any in them to begin with. Drive calls from Ragnarok-class internment hulks. Those are the prize bits we really need. According to the Gleaners, getting to them means delving deep into the shards. And the defences are still very operational and very eager to blow them up. It's rough going in there, even for the cream. Not sure they'd make it out alive.
Weren't we near that part of the Ragnarok when we went to destroy Bahamut?
The White Raven's coat, it haunts me. No, come on, we can go fetch some.
That may be for the best, though you doubtless find the task too dull for your liking.
There are multiple internment hulks in Eorzea alone, so handling this ourselves may not be the most efficient option. Rather, if we could salvage adamantite from the shards simultaneously... Thancred, is the link shell we established before you went to Garlemald still active?
Of course. The floor is yours.
What's all this?
Gathering firewood, so to speak. We alone can accomplish little, but joined by others, we may yet build a bonfire to carry us heavensward.
Oh, that is a beautiful touch right there.
This is Alphino. The Scions have need of you.
Oh man, we're going to be calling in all our allies for favors now.
Understood. I will contact the Lord Commander and dispatch our finest at once.
My sisters are somewhat preoccupied with the final days, so I will lead the 12-Sword expedition myself.
Are you aware of any other sources of refined adamantite?
Logically, such an invaluable alloy would have been utilized solely where absolutely necessary, in components intended to conduct or collect surpassing amounts of ether. Any extant instrumentation or devices would have likely found their way into the hands of etherologists, or enthusiasts.
magical artifacts of Allagan design? The Eastern Alliance will send word to one and all. Are there other ways we may offer aid? No shards of the Lesser Moon scar our soil, but our stake in this cause is no less for it.
Oh, Serena.
Is there anything in Othard that might be of use to you?
What did you say? Oh, you got friends in far places, lad. Any road, if you're offering, I wouldn't say no to one of those Far Eastern sacred relics. Some of them can hold enough ether to summon a whole damn primal.
That's true.
Pack with the aetherburner, and 3, 2, 1, kaboom!
I gather you heard his explosive enthusiasm. Might you secure us a suitable relic?
It shall be done. I know little of machines, but I promise we will do our utmost to gather the materials you need to finish your starship. I am glad for the work, in truth. Better to busy oneself than wait and fret over disasters foretold.
Then why are we all still standing about yapping? There's plunder for the taking. And I'm a born plunderer. I'll be an old Charlian before you know it. Start mixing the grog.
I'm certain that can be arranged. Thank you all, and do be careful.
Just like that.
Aye, just like that. Our refined adamantite is on its way. Now let us consider our next steps, shall we? There's yet much to be done.
He's proud. He really is. Boy, that stiff upper lip of his. Appreciate you doing all this, but I ain't getting me hopes up just yet. Fine, be that way. There are no oaths or contracts binding the members of the Ishibar contingent, and in many ways it was even more loosely organized than the Crystal Braves. Nevertheless, I knew none would refuse this call to arms. Truly, we have been blessed with trustworthy and dependable allies. What serendipitous irony that the remnants of the 7th Umbral Calamity would become the keys to mankind's salvation. Never more certain have I been that Master Louis Soir watcheth over us from the ethereal sea. The Bahamut is long gone, the interment hulks are far from safe. It could be much worse, of course. They won't have to fight their way past Mericidian dragons, nor is there any danger the Elder Primal might have summoned again. Even so, I dare say there's still a fair few Allagan creations and contraptions remaining to bar our friend's way. I only hope that Grandfather watches over them. First the Talafroi, now the final days. No one can accuse the Ishibar contingent of backing down from a challenge. Of course, they weren't also committed to the cause when we first set out, but after seeing the example set by you, Alphino and the others, the change was palpable. They couldn't help but believe. Conversing how much of a fuss he made at the time, I don't see why he takes every opportunity to bring it up. It was just firewood. That just shows how much he looks up to you, Estinian. I'm confident that even the deadliest of Allagan defense mechanisms are no match for our allies. At this rate, some of them might soon have as many accomplishments to their names as a certain warrior of light. I doubt it! Time and time again, it seems that Allagan something or other are either the cause of the solution to our problems. To think the self-same materials that once launched Dalamud will now be used to help ferry mankind to the moon. Times like these, we're reminded of how famous or infamous Alphino has become. Who would have thought he had achieved so much with a single Link Pro conversation? As we're expecting rather a lot of visitors in the near future, I'd best return to the surface and inform the relevant parties. I also have a contract of my own that might be worth a try. Oh, and who might that be? That's for me to know and you to find out. Okay, she's up to something. Now on that note, I leave matters here in your capable hands. Best of luck. Okay. So, meanwhile, a new doll. Okay, so we're getting cutscenes of what's happening elsewhere. Oh, this music, I know it well.
Our course of action is clear. We must harvest refined adamantite from the shards of Dalamud and procure arcane relics of Allagan make. Summon the best and brightest of our immortal flames and form an expeditionary party at once. Call upon the Sultan Sworn and Brass Blades for support as you must. Papashan, send word to the guilds. We will require the expertise of master artisans if we are to have any hope of identifying and recovering these elusive materials. Viergeist, we have need of your stone torches. They are to assist the immortal flames in scouring the ruins and to help secure the surrounding areas. I trust I can count on your support.
As commander of the Stone Torches, my son Zimberk will personally see it done.
Pippin, I would have you lead the raiding party. Assemble your finest, and with Tizona's blade clear the way. Lord Lolorito, I pray you take charge of the search for Allagan relics. Surely you know of some being traded on open or clandestine markets, or sleeping in collectors' vaults. Of course, I ask not that you do this out of the kindness of your heart. By all means, profit on the transactions. I wish you the joy of it. The final days descend upon our world. If circumstances are truly as dire as they say, Uldar's best efforts may be for naught. And yet, when we Eorzeans rose from the ashes to rebuild our broken realm, did we not learn one simple truth? That which seems all but impossible to overcome alone may yet be possible if we stand together.
She's come a long way, hasn't she?
It was the Scions who united us then, and it is the Scions who call upon us now. Uldar will answer that call. We will summon our courage and join the fight for our world's future. You know your duties. I, Nanamo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, bid you good luck and Godspeed.
What's next? I have a feeling there's going to be a couple more. That was a good cutscene. She's really come a long way. At this rate, they won't need a Warrior of Light anymore. Meanwhile, in the Black Shroud...
We've fielded a goodly number, but our ranks are heavy with healers, and an abundance of restorative magics will be of little help in destroying Dalamud's defenses. Still, it has ever been thus with Gridania. We must steel ourselves for a protracted engagement.
Oh, of course they would be there!
In that case, might I suggest taking us along?
Commander Hext, what are you doing here?
None of the shards in Girabania are big enough to hold an internment hulk. So we said to ourselves, why not lend our neighbors a hand? We thought you might be short on people with a talent for breaking things.
While it pains me to admit it, you are right. Are our deficiencies so plain to see?
It might have been a lifetime ago, but I was once one of the Scions assigned to the Shroud. I know this forest well. I know your people. And I know we will be stronger if we fight this fight together.
Then I will impose upon you with a clear conscience. Come, let us speak of how to integrate our forces.
I won't let it all be for nothing. I promise you, Papalimo.
Okay. So we're making progress already. So what's next? Well, in Coerthus. Nice. Oh. They would be showing that, wouldn't they?
There you are. We've no time to waste, brother. Everyone is already...
Oh. Going on?
That was a roar. A dragon's roar.
Whose roar? Is it Race Falgar? Are we going to be seeing Race Falgar again? That would be cool. Okay. Where to next? In the Ruby Sea. We're just going all over the place.
And so, in summation, the Eastern Alliance, as well as the Honourable Lord Lolorito himself, reached out to me for assistance in procuring these treasures of the divine, and I, in turn, do beseech the Confederacy for aid.
Oh, Soraban!
Hmm? Is that...
Hancock? What a surprise this is.
Oh, he sounds so different.
And a fortuitous one at that. I have a favor to ask, you see.
Siriu! He's one of the four lords! Well, this is getting good! Who's next? No one next. Alright. Alright, where's everyone else? There they are. I can't talk to anyone! Why can't I not talk to anyone? I'm confident even together, yes. Okay, so... same thing there. Okay, we can just skip them then. No job too small. Alfredo is resisting the urge to pat himself on the back. Our friends are searching for refined adamantite and sacred relics. We will only know if they meet your requirements once they've arrived. In the meantime, is there aught else we might be to be of service? Ha! You've already done more than enough! If I had to say, though, I could use someone who knows a thing or two about Alagun technology. Well, we got one of those. You there, the lad with the red eyes and matching hair. You seem to know more than the average scholar. If only Master Kokol knew how right he was. But he and Graha established a rapport. Why don't we help the preparations for the Great Exodus? Indeed, this would mean going above and beyond in terms of our arrangement, but I propose this not to curry favor. As confident as I am that we will succeed, we must be ready for every eventuality. This would also be an opportunity to familiarize ourselves with the logistics of traversing the Great Expanse, and if nothing else, it beats twiddling our thumbs while we wait for the adamantite. Well, ain't you a bunch of helpful buggers? If you've a mind to lend a hand, I know where you ought to go. Charlie and Hamlet is lousy with researchers, and Scarlet types busying themselves preparing for the Exodus. Puh, that'll need all the help they can get. Well then, off we go! Okay, I hope you don't mind if we leave you behind, Graha. Shall endeavor to provide Master Kokol with whatever information he should require. That's helpful as always. Okay, so let's head upwards. So that's where the next aetherite is, actually. So, good for us. Okay. So, let's see here. We're almost there. I don't see how people can stand living underground like that. I mean, it's still technically underground, even though you can go outside, but I don't know, that might drive me crazy after a while. What a quaint little settlement this is. A shame it's hidden underground. Thank you! Someone else agrees. In order to protect the secrets of the Central Circuit, the researchers must navigate a bewildering maze of paperwork before they are permitted to return to the surface. I suppose it's no different than any other aspect of Charlene society. We do love our bureaucracy, and it's very much a mirror of the city above, which is perhaps how they came to be called Charlie and Hamlet. I don't mind a bit of heavy lifting, but I draw the line at paperwork. So much as a wave of sheet of document at me and I'll put my lance through it. I just love Vestidian more and more. Surprised as I was to learn of the forum plan to send everyone to the moon, I can't imagine how the common folk must feel about it. My senses deceive me. In the shadow of yon corner, one can but hope this leadeth not to a mischievous undertaking. From what I can tell, a lot of people actually live down here. I don't know how much help we can offer, but I dare say they'll benefit from some of that fresh inspiration Scarlark Montychanks mentioned. Let's start by asking around, ideally without getting in everyone's way. Ideally without getting in anyone's way. Why can I not talk? Let's meet by the aetherite once our work is done. Okay, let's just look around here. And what did Urianger spy that he was concerned with? Oh, he's probably speaking about the Loporets, wasn't he? I mean, they're here in Charlian somewhere, so... Okay. Up and with the Ark, even with all the power Master Kokoro managed to squeeze out of the aetherburner, it's still not enough, apparently. Now I hear the final days have arrived. Horrible creatures running rampant all over. If only we'd begun the Exodus sooner. People are dying and there's no end to it if we don't fulfill our duties. But we will. We spent years preparing for this moment. Believe in the plan and all will be well. Silken grin. Oh, hello. Are you one of the new helpers? Working on the aetherburner? Oh dear, I hear things have come to a standstill on that front. Even so, I choose that over my current duties, checking and loading samples. Day in, day out, it's tiring, thankless work. Still, no one will be cross if I misplace a few leg drums or what have you. The Forum's got enough on their plate as it is. But with deciding who gets to board the Ark and when, lots of powerful people have opinions about that. My heart goes out to Master 4.0 and the others. Hardly get a moment's rest, I expect. Do they even have time to sleep? I mean, if they don't, they're doing really good at hiding it. Who's next? Who's next? All these buildings in the way. There we go. Offering to help? That's very kind, but I should be able to organize the rest of the documents by myself. It's mostly lists of the things we'll need once we arrive on the moon, and then whichever star we choose as our new home. My duties largely concern the maintenance of living conditions, so I'll be a lot busier after we depart. I hear that our lunar collaborators have come down to assist in our efforts. I'm looking forward to finally meeting them in person, after having communicated with them in such a limited capacity thus far. To be perfectly honest, I've not even the slightest idea what they look like. I do hope they're not some enormous looming giants. Why, I would much prefer something small and fluffy. Like that beheaded rabbit that ran by. Oh, she's gonna be thrilled then! Okay, so the Loporrits are down here. Search for the beheaded rabbits. Here's the beheaded rabbits. Oh, there's a crowd over there. I'm guessing it can only be there. But first things first. To grab our aetherite. Yep, there they are. And Urianger found them too. It would appear the Loporrits have infiltrated Sharlayan's most heavily guarded facility. How, I know not. Well, they're small, so... What joy to sample the delights of Aetheris. How marvelous it is to see you again. You'll be pleased to hear I've learned much since our fascinating discussion at the Canatorium. It's all thanks to Urianger, you see. He's taught me the finer points of cooking, which, despite my name, I knew very little about. So many dishes, so many hard-to-pronounce words. Actually, I was rather hoping he'd show me how to bake an Archon loaf. They're quite popular, I hear, though it doesn't sound like it contains any flavor to speak of. Still, if that's the sort of thing your kind enjoys, I shall make enough to last the whole journey. Oh, growing way! Crikey, I wasn't expecting to see you here, Claire. I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to say goodbye, and for, having those other Loporrits attack you. Terrible misunderstanding that. Not to worry, though. It's all have since recovered from the rather savage beating you administered. They bear no ill will. Well, perhaps a little, on account of the savagery, but time heals all wounds. Most, anyway. Well, you attacked us first, so it's your fault. Fancy meeting you here, Claire. Our friends in the forum brought us to see their teeny tiny toy boat, which was quite impressive considering they didn't use any creation magics. What we're actually interested in is Aetheris itself, though we now find ourselves in a sort of funny underground miniaturized version of it. We were hoping the forum would give us a guided tour, but it appears they're rather preoccupied. Honestly, all that time to prepare and they're still not ready. Suppose we'll just have to show ourselves around, or at least that's what we were planning to do until we chance upon Urianger and your good self. Since you're both dawdling about, engaging in idle chit-chat, perhaps you could show us a few points of interest. Won't that be fun? Okay, we get to guide the Loporrits! What's next? Wise guide. Tries to mind Urianger cannot free himself of the Loporrits. You're stuck with them, buddy. Tour of Labyrinthos. As unexpected yet prudent suggestion. Given the similarities betwixt this artificial environment and Bestaway Borough, it would be in our best interest to have the Loporrits acquaint themselves with those conditions deemed optional by their Sharlayan collaborators. I fear, however, that continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would risk narrowing rather than broadening their perspectives. Mayhap thou art better suited to lead this venture. Me? What a marvelous idea! Might we begin with that great big what's-it over yonder? What's it? Yes, the what's it. I shall leave its explanation to Claire. Oh, you're terrible! Really, Oriente? Really? I was just starting to like you again. Oh boy, this is a betrayal of great. Oh man. Like, your other betrayals were bad enough, Oriente, but this one takes the cake. So, where are we going now? What is the what's it they're talking about? The Loperette's technical expertise doth far outstrip our own. We would be wise to allow them to inform their own conclusions to the function of the various apparatus, rather than offer uninformative suppositions of our own. Unless it is unbeknownst to me thou art possessed of surpassing knowledge concerning the construction and operation of advanced Charlian, what's-its. No, I don't. Singing Way's really going at it. And what on earth are they talking about?
Goodness me, to build something so large without creation magics, it's positively serendipitous. Perhaps you could direct our attention to its most important features?
Okay. Okay, so we're using a telescope, I guess. And what am I looking at? Okay, this thing, the mushroom-like thing. What the heck? Observe the mushroom-like thing? Metallic tube. I have tanks. Okay, let's start with this.
That looks like the trees in the greatest Endsvale. Hold on, that's a bit strange. It's thin at the bottom, bit big and round at the top. Quite tall for something so unbalanced, too. Now it makes sense. This is where they store the water.
Okay. The metallic tube.
Is that water I hear from inside that great big tube? Must be because of those cogs and that gigantic wheel at the top. Oh, I see. That's how they drop the water. There's positively some sort of spiral-shaped mechanism inside it, too.
Okay, and now the tanks over here.
It's a little hard to see from here, but is that a golden pipe connected to the top of those tanks? And I can see through that window another pipe at the bottom. Ah, this must be for purifying water drawn up from below.
They are clever. They are very clever.
Well, if I were to hazard a guess, water drawn from underground, presumably with some other mechanism, is purified here and stored in that tower before being distributed elsewhere. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it. A design brilliant in its simplicity. I dare say it would take only a moment to install it even in the harshest of environments. For us Loperettes, that is.
Indeed, securing a reliable source of water is of the utmost importance for any fledgling settlement.
We have read, however, that peoples of Aetheris sometimes make their homes in arid deserts and such. How are they able to survive?
Many settlements in Thanalan are built near an oasis.
So wherever you choose to live, you're never far from water.
Oh dear, I fear we won't be able to procure the necessary amount. We can provide enough water to keep them from drying out completely, but it would appear they rely on far more than we anticipated.
A few adjustments may be in order once we've calculated the average rate of consumption per individual. It may also be worth learning more about how exactly they obtain their water in the first place.
Master Alphino spoke of the machinery responsible for that feat during our journey through Logiscan Alpha, did he not? Mayhap the Loperettes will share his appreciation for the engineering marvel.
Oh yes, that sounds absolutely splendid.
We must journey beyond the sanctuary of Charlene Hamlet. I shall lead the way. You mean we'll have to brave the untamed wilderness? A valid concern indeed. We could not help but notice the many dangerous-looking creatures with big, nasty teeth lurking about the safe confines of this settlement. Were we not escorted here by burly custodians, I dread to think what would have become of us. Regrettably, too many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big, nasty teeth. Loporrits may appear to be a potential and rather appetizing source of substances. He's terrible. Might I impose upon thee to assist in securing safe passage to Logisticton Alpha? For my part, I shall act as an escort to Living Way and Cooking Way. I entrust Singing Way and Growing Way to thy care. Well, I'd rather be doing this than paperwork, I guess. A more valiant protector they could not wish for. Godspeed. If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not be eaten by some horrid beastie. Come along, Growing Way, to the water extraction, what's it? I specifically remember Singing Way had that really high voice, so I can't help but try to use it. Okay, so we get to play as bodyguard for bunnies. I love it. How can you not love it? Okay, we're starting to get... Okay, time's moving on. So I think that we'll go ahead and finish up this quest real quick. Just looking at how big everything is. And I think we'll call it a day once we'll finish up with this quest. Oh, we might be able to fulfill that promise with Growing Way to walk with him through a forest on Aetheris. Perhaps you could tell the local beasties we're not nearly as delicious as we might appear? I have a feeling the way forward is not as clear as we like. Could you go and take a look? Hello. Sorry, buddy. Rabbit is off the menu. You know something I noticed? We really haven't had a chance to really fight as much as we used to in the past. Like, compared to the others, it was always like fight a battle here and there, like pretty, like every other quest. Here, it's really focusing on the story, which I appreciate. Bye-bye. I say, that fiend had a mind to feast on roasted loporrit. Probably could have roasted you too on the way. Thank you so much. Really hope this water extraction what's-it is worth these harrowing experiences. All part of the fun, some might say, but I'd rather not be burnt to a crisp if that's all the same to you. I can't remember his voice, sorry. Yeah, literally a few days. Just a few days before Endwalker came out, I finally got this particular mount, which I'm so happy about. And how do I get through here? Yeah, this is the two-seater mount that you get from Bogia. And it was a nightmare to get, I will say that. So, where... I don't know where I'm going. Up here? I'm guessing. Okay, everyone's here. I couldn't help but notice a distinct lack of carrots along the way, or many of the other vegetables I was expecting to see, though I did catch a glimpse of some sort of bipedal tomato charging about. Must be my imagination. Oh no, probably wasn't your imagination. You've done well to see those two here safely. They can be a bit skittish at the best of times, so I'm pleasantly surprised they didn't run off and get themselves killed. You sound disappointed. It was all very exciting, but I'd rather not do it again. Wait, how exactly were we planning to head back later? Guess you didn't think that through. Let's get moving. That building looks nice and solid and safe. My friends, I bid you welcome to Logisticon Alpha. Our destination doth lie at the lift's top. Pray follow me. You know, he's gotten really close with the Loporrits. Wouldn't surprise me if he spends a little bit more time with them once, you know, Endwalker's done. Need to use this lift should you wish to go to the medical circuit. Let me know if you're headed that way. Yes, let's go. I'm pretty sure that's where we're supposed to go anyway. Okay. Forgive me for asking, but are we any closer to the kitchens? Come to think of it, why am I even here? Atmospheric manipulators are hardly an area of my expertise. On this occasion, it would behoove us to seek the counsel of those qualified to describe the workings of the apparatus. It may also be in possession of the schematics or other useful documentation should the Loporrits request them. As for the forum's esteemed guests, it is unlikely they will be refused, yet thou knowest as well as I the changeable disposition of Sharlayan bureaucrats. That was terrifying, but at least the scenery was more pleasant than the what's-name, Galamal. As a first impression of Aetheris, it was far from favorable. Anyway, onwards and upwards! Quite literally, as is the case here. As I understand, places like Labyrinthos are the exception rather than the rule. You don't all build enormous underground living spaces like this, surely? No, we don't. Really. Marvelous, simply marvelous. So this is where the magic, or science rather, takes place. The perfect environment to sustain life, artificially created. The knowledge we'll gain here will be essential when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently most of them don't even have air for you to breathe. You're all really lucky that Aetheris just so happens to provide everything you need to thrive. Or did mankind turn out the way they are because of the available resources, I wonder? Either way, it's nothing short of miraculous, and I cannot wait to see more of it. So at least Singing Way's happy. Alright, next one is called the Agricultural Shock. Okay, but I think we'll save that for next time. Unfortunately, it's been about an hour already and I have to go to work, unfortunately. But I want to thank you all so much for joining me so far. And I think it's just going to be a little bit slow right now. We're just going to be helping everyone prepare for the final days, get everyone on board, and hopefully by the time when everyone else arrives, we'll be ready to speak with Hydaelyn, because, oh no. Yeah, because I just realized something. I mean, I was thinking about it, but there's a chance that the next trial is going to be up against Hydaelyn because we already faced up with Zodiark, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. I would love to see and be able to speak with her again, especially after everything that happened, especially after we've been to Elpis and we know all that's going on, but we're still missing a couple final pieces that need to be put into place. That Hydaelyn is really the only person who can help us out here. She's really the only one who can tell us where Meteon is, so even if we do get control of the ship, I mean, we won't be able to we'll have to search the entire universe until we just happen to find her, so Hydaelyn's really the only person who can help us track her down, so whether we like it or not, we're going to be up against Hydaelyn, and I'm really dreading. I don't want to fight her after all of this, but yeah, I don't know when that'll happen, but we'll soon to find out. So thank you so much for watching. This is Fantasy Girl signing out.